Hi guys, just checking in on our R&D activities from our last time we spoke about 12 months ago. Been a lot of changes in the development and the rig room and what we're working on. So let me take you have a look. I'm talking to you via a mirror because I don't know how to use the phone. You know I'm a bit funny with technology. Some things I'm really good at, the simple things seem to be quite difficult for me. But anyway, let's move on. So last time when I showed you our data matching activities, we're touching on about 20 kilowatts. As you can see now, we're just on 14 kilowatts. Now that's an improvement in some of the actual hardware that we've gotten and also the CUDA code itself. So we've reduced power usage by about 50% and the actual increase in speed of the data matching and the actual DAP test net is about 250, 300%, depending which way the wind's blowing. Anyway, you get my drift. So there's the station as we've seen before. Look, here's our final. I've upgraded everything to 10 gigabit. So this is the final dev segment. I've isolated all of the segments, both physically and logically. I'm extremely security conscious, being a bit of a white hat hacker back in my day. But you know, you've got to know thy enemy, so to speak. So look, everything's very secure. Let me put it that way. So there's the last. This is the last dev rack we're looking at here. That's it there. Oh. So in here we can see, I know it's not that fancy looking, but they're the Netgear 10 gigabit switches. They're quite expensive. Everyone's been talking about 10 gigabit coming down in price. We've been waiting for 3 years, hasn't happened. So look, I just had to buy the bullet. So there we've got their Netgear and a normal, HP Pro Curve as well. So, and we've got some pretty nice, decent IBM M3 and M4 servers sitting in there as well. So that's all cool. Just coming up here. So this is one of our Hikvision RTSP protocol cameras, CCTV cameras that we're using for the biometric matching stuff. Coming down here, you'll see one of my little favourites. I'll put a massive lens on it that's totally over the top, totally not needed. These things are really used as with cam. You see my hand there, you can see the size of it. So it's about the size of a matchbox. This stuff made by IDS, so this is made by the Germans. This stuff is like rock and roll. It's just the Lamborghinis of stuff, but look, love working with it. Always never a drama, which is really cool. Okay, so biometrics going really well. We've gotten our I'll just show you some of the new equipment that's a little bit more efficient. So there's one of the new stuff. So they're the RX480s. It's still the RX480 range, but it's the MSI 480 8GB. You can see the new dual fan system instead of the reference fan. So that's a lot more. They're a lot better cooling as opposed to the little, as you can hear, basically the hair dryers of the reference fan systems. So anyway, look, I want to point one little device out to you. This is an Intel NUC. Now these are like micro PCs, and we're working on a development which is basically subscription activation using dApps in our blockchain. Now, the other thing that we're using this little NUC for is that we've got some what are called RTU PLC. So it's basically we're moving into that whole Internet of Things realm, controlling systems and like I won't go into it. It's a bit of a secret project at the moment, but I'll document it a little bit more later. You can see there's a little sticker of a pineapple there. Those who know what that is know what that is. I'll leave it at that. You can have a look. I use pfSense as my firewall. I've got dual firewalls, so have a go. Good luck to you. So moving over here, here's the last, this is our last unit here. So this is a M4. We've gotten E5, V2, 2570 CPUs. That's cracking about 25,000 on CPU benchmark. Can't wait to get this little beauty online. I'm just commissioning it at the moment. I'm waiting for the new heatsinks to arrive, the 130 watt copper heatsinks to arrive, because I've pimped it out with new CPUs. We have, if we go over here, as you can see, I'm putting into this guy, he's got a 10 gigabit network card, but also we're putting into it M2. So that's a 1 terabyte M2. Oh, sorry, what am I talking about? What have I got there? It's a 240 gigabyte. I have ordered a 1 terabyte. That's the plan anyway. So we should be able to run good 4 virtuals at full speed there. Coming over here, what's going over here? Okay, so this is my little unit that I use to. It's actually what the demo laptop. Now it may be a laptop. It is i7, but look, I use it a lot of the times. What are we doing here? I'm just configuring one of the appliances via serial there. As you can see, it's going through into the back of there. That's about it. There's the RSD, so I don't kill myself through electric shock. It happens. Here's what I call Sesame Street. So this is the main rack production system that we're using, where everything goes production live. As you can see, we'll leave him in there at the moment. I think, as you can see, everything is hunky-dory. We put a new PBX phone system in here. Love that. Works really well. Over here, just the normal stuff. So, as I said, we're getting more into the PLCs and Internet of Things type of world. Crossing over, the blockchain and the dApps into that space. I really think this is where the future of everything is going. And so, as you can see, I've got my own testnet blocknet chain here with our CUDA matching that I'm already doing. So we're now extending that out in an iterative process in a pure R&D type of fashion, as you'd expect. So look, there's this guy. I got to point this guy out. So Moonbase Alpha. For those of the, let me talk to you here. For those of the generation who used to watch it in the late, very, very early 80s, was like Fantasyland stuff, man. It was just like, this is before I think just on Star Wars or just after. Anyway, look, it was the show. It was the only cool sci-fi show on at the time. Anyway, so if you're old enough, you get the reference, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, back to it. So Moonbase Alpha. So this guy, this unit, I actually built out of I basically built it out of spare parts, ordering it from America. It's all brand new, but I'll just show you over here. So as you can see there, we're actually got, I'll just pull this guy out. So that's a 10 gigabit, that's 10 gigabit SFP plus unit. So let's pull this guy out. Now you can see in here, that's dual E5 2670 CPUs that are running in there with 10 gigabit. Also running SSD cards as well. Just putting me back in there nicely. As you can see, there's actually 4 systems in there. So let me plug that back in. Don't leave things unplugged. Okay. There's actually 4 things in here. So when you fire this bad boy up, she's a rocket ship. So let me just come over here and tell you. Sucks the power, so until it's necessary, we leave that little bad boy off. But that's basically the production running of the production system once we get the full-time clients on board. So look, I think that's about it. There's been a lot of changes, as you can see. Everything's still the same. Our testnet, our DApps, we've increased efficiency. We're moving on to new and really exciting stuff. These RTUs, which are basically cut down PLCs controlled by using OPC, which is this new standard. It's a quasi standard that Rockwell, Siemens, the Mitsubishi, they've all got on board sort of, with that there's drivers out there. So using these RTU devices, we can then control both analog and digital signals. Really excited, using the blockchain as the backbone as well, and then our biometrics and all of that stuff that goes with it and that we're doing at the moment. So that's where we are in our R&D. I'm excited as always. I feel that building the future of Australia, I definitely feel that this is where it's going to be. So look, I just wanted to let you know what I'm doing, and I'll see you again next time. Cheers.